Now with a roundup of other stories making news across Africa, here's Joab Chakhaza.
The President of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Joseph Kabila, has said elections have been delayed because the country is not prepared for them. He said millions of young people had not yet registered and he wanted to avoid locking them out of the vote. On Saturday, the head of the Electoral Commission said he expected the presidential election, due to be held next month, to take place in December 2018. Still in DRC, authorities there have asked the United Nations to remove from the country hundreds of fighters loyal to the South Sudanese rebel leader Riek Machar. The fighters crossed into Congo with their leader in August following intense violence in the South Sudanese capital Juba. Mary Harper reports.
The 750 men are staying in camps in the eastern province of North Kivu. Although they've been calm so far, local officials say they pose a security risk. The region is highly unstable, with dozens of rebel groups active in the area, some supported by neighbouring countries. Congo most definitely doesn't want to be used as a rear base by enemies of the government of South Sudan.
In Zimbabwe, several banks are imposing a $50 cap on daily cash withdrawals as the country's currency crisis deepens. Brian Hungwe is in Harare.
Long meandering queues are commonplace at most banks as depositors spend several hours waiting to get as little as $50 per day. Other bigger banks like South African affiliated Stanbic can only release $100 per day. The maximum withdrawals limit are a reaction to a severe liquidity crunch and partly meant to stop hoarding.
And finally, a judge at the Court of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has ruled that Nigeria's former National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki, should be released. Mr. Dasuki was accused of illegally transferring $50 million from the national security budget to fund election campaigns for members of ex-President Goodluck Jonathan's party. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges and says they are politically motivated. And that's the roundup, David.
Thank you, Joab Chakhaza. Now joining us with the sports headlines, Steve Vickers in Harare.